Hello there and welcome to today's edition of The Tipping Point. Now today's edition is going to be a little different from our regular conversations that we have on The Tipping Point. On today's edition of the program, I'm going to be taking you on a journey. Well, it's as much adventurous as it is culinary. So I'm a huge fan for mega projects and infrastructures, okay? I mean, engineering that just wows you gets to me as well. So I heard that Istanbul were building a new airport to cater for the many passengers that were overcrowded for their old Atatürk airport. So I went to see it, Istanbul, Turkey. But when I got to Istanbul, I was fascinated by another Cameroonian in Istanbul doing something really interesting in the food chain sector. So I got to have a conversation with him. So today's edition of The Tipping Point is about sharing with you both experiences about the new airport in Istanbul and this young guy who is doing tremendous things at over in Istanbul, cooking excellent Cameroonian dishes to cater for the Cameroonian community. So it's my hope that you enjoyed this journey as much as I did, and we'll see you on the other side when I come back, okay? So don't go away. Enjoy. It's a dangerous business stepping out your door, Gandalf used to say. If you don't keep your feet, there is no telling where you might be swept off to. Those lines are from The Lord of the Rings, and if you are a movie person like I am, those words probably never leave your mind. There is a vast and unexploited world beyond our 237 borders. And sometimes if you don't keep your feet when you step outside of them, there is no telling where you might be swept off to. While many Cameroonians look out for greener pastures, I like to wander with those that look for connectivity, exploring new markets, engaging new cultures, and harnessing the things that bind us rather than those that separate us. Istanbul, Turkey, is a major doorway to many of the world's emerging markets. Many Cameroonians trading with Europe, Asia, and the Americas use Istanbul as their entry point. In recent years, it has also become a conducive hustle ground for many young Cameroonians seeking the prospect of a better future or more educational opportunities. The doorway to the world, as it is sometimes called, Istanbul's Atatürk Airport used to cater to over 70 million persons a year. The airport was overcrowded. So a new Istanbul airport has been built and currently serving over 90 million passengers and is expected to serve another 200 million when it is completed by 2020. I landed at Istanbul's new airport on a cold Tuesday morning with temperatures slightly lower than 20 degrees Celsius. It was a cold morning for me because I'm used to the average 28 degrees Celsius in Douala. After taxiing for close to 30 minutes on this extra long runway, it was the longest taxiing I'd experienced before since ever I flew. We finally are hit by the sheer beauty of this gigantic airport, arguably the largest in the world right now. This over $10 billion project is a bird's eye view of the infrastructural wonders that this ancient city houses. Home to some 15.7 million inhabitants, Istanbul also hosts a small Cameroonian community of students and everyday hustlers. As I scooped the city, trying to touch base with all the history behind its several touristic sites, I stumbled on a restaurant owned and run by Cameroonian and serving Cameroonian food. This was an awesome wonder for me. I find that each time I am out of Cameroon, the greatest challenge for me is food and weather. I never know what to eat, and sometimes the weather is always too cold. The weather I can somehow manage, but I need to have home-cooked meals to survive. Most often, I'd settle for KFC or Popeyes or some burgers. I am sure you can entertain my amazement when I saw a restaurant that served achu on the menu. Chez Dangote is the place Cameroonians in Istanbul go to when they feel homesick.
The brands we have from Cameroon.
Yeah.
We have Guinness Cameroon through Dangote, and some other few brands like dairy products, the milk products, and so on.
Okay.
So we have that through people like Dangote and other distributors.
What's your favorite dish that you eat here?
I come from Bamenda, so obviously you should know what you're seeing today.
Achu.
Achu for sure. And kati kati.
Oh, there's kati kati here too.
Sure. We have
And
that regular.
is it done the way it's done back at home?
Sure. We have professional ladies from home, and they do it same way like our mothers do back home. So we really do enjoy it.
Percy, let me come to you. Then it looks like there's nothing that you guys miss from back home. I mean, everything is here, from the beer to the food. And would you come back? That's my first question.
Go back to Cameroon?
Yeah.
No, we have everything here.
Okay.
Whenever you leave home, you know, you come here, it's just like you are in an African restaurant.
It feels like home.
Yeah,
It feels like home. Africa has a very communal spirit. Do you guys experience that here? When you come to eat, are you people just clients, or do you feel like I'm amongst my own brothers?
When we come here, we know we are meeting our brothers.
Okay.
We share everything. The drinks, the food, discuss whatever thing is going back home.
How valuable per you is the money that we send back home? Do you think that, yes, without this, how easy would home survive?
I think, as compared to what is being earned back home, what they make here is reasonable to pay their bills and assist their family members back home.
Okay, so you are one of those who have succeeded in coming out. Those of us who are back home struggling to come, what's advice? Should we come, or we stay that way and manage with Popo?
If you have a good job back home, you stay back home. But if you don't have the means of surviving back home, you want to make you can come here.
Alrighty.
You will certainly make it.
And it's gonna work. Yeah. Me and Presi, we had this other Presi that Dangote said. We had a very interesting. Yes, everybody here is Presi. But we're talking about the entertainment industry up there, and so I want to ask, in terms of music and all the other stuff that is available, do you miss Cameroon?
I can just miss Cameroon because a greater part of my family is there, but in terms of every other thing, I don't.
We're cool here.
Yeah, we're cool here.
Alright.
This restaurant, it makes us feel at home. You come here, you meet African brothers, and every dish is a delicacy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they cook here is my best. I don't have a favorite. So
Great.
I literally don't miss Cameroon.
So you eat here every day?
Yeah, like 5 or 7 a week.
So when you don't eat here, where do you eat?
My house bed. I eat here almost every day.
Alrighty.
If I don't come for lunch, I'll come for dinner.
Sounds like a plan. Gabriel, how that you pass? Oh, you chon and dole or you chon achu?
You know, so that boys something sweet way. That's they as you say, wait, how do you think it tastes? You say it tastes like cow horse egg. That means the meat just gets too much.
I feel you. It is owned and run by a young man who looks nothing like Dangote, but his dreams are just as valid. Our conversation is short and exciting because mostly I am thinking about the food I am about to savor.
Okay, I'm Jonas Awandem, precisely from Cameroon, the Southwest region. And my business name is Chez Dangote. I choose the name because of the aim I have. I want to be like Dangote for life. And another strategy was because this is an African restaurant. I could not make it just Cameroon. I could not just make it. I wanted to make it global. Like Chez is a French word, which is automatically a Cameroon language. Dangote is from Nigeria, and I choose because he is the richest in Africa, and that is my aim. that's what I want to be.
So you want to be Cameroon's Dangote?
Yeah.
Okay,
actually.
great. You're starting up with a restaurant.
Yeah.
What inspired you to set up a restaurant in a foreign country?
Yeah, when I came to Istanbul, it was not that way easy. I'm studying international relations here in
Okay.
Istanbul University. So when I came here, it was not that easy. I started with some light jobs. One day I just decided maybe I don't have anywhere to eat Cameroonian food, but I have the means to bring the food here. So I decided, no, I could make these dishes in my house so that after work or after studies, I can make it in the house in the evening, and I put on my status so that my friends will come and get them. So when I started, it started like 5, 6, 7, up to the level where the landlord could not permit me do that in his house because the population was more than the number I expected. So I decided to move it out to a full restaurant.
Whoa! So that's the way this was birthed.
Yeah.
I see on your counter you have literally everything from Cameroon. So how do you get the dishes or the raw material that you use in processing into food?
Yeah, actually, I try to create some relations from those working at the airport, and most especially the business people. When I go to the airport to get my stock, I meet some business men and women. I collect the numbers and ask them, next time when you come, you can text me, I'll buy your kilos. Since you are coming to buy your goods, you don't travel with any food. I can buy your kilos, or you can buy things, you come and sell to me. That's how I get food. And because of the economic situation of Turkey, many of them come here to buy dresses, shoes. So I receive goods regularly. Like for example, today I already have 5 people booked already for goods next week.
Wow, that's interesting. Let's branch a little. What prompts an international relations student to switch? Well, you're not switching because you're still studying, but to branch into the catering industry.
Yeah, actually I was in Dubai where I did where I did hotellery. Yeah, that is where I studied, and I've worked in Achanyi Hotel in Kumba.
Okay.
In the restaurant precisely. I work in Dubai in Sultan Hotel Bush Al Arab. I work in Medan Hotel. I work in Emma. So these hotels, I worked there as a waiter, and from there I got so many things. I have an idea on how food, and as well, back in Cameroon, I worked in my mom's restaurant when I was still in the secondary school. So I just decided because I did not see any other thing I could do here to get money, and that was the only thing I knew my brothers here were missing. They could not have African food. That taste was not there. So I think maybe if I can do it, I was doing it, but as a man, I cannot give that taste. That's why you met my cook.
Your cook, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I brought her here. She came here, I took her, and she's doing it so well. Yeah.
That's excellent. So you've been in this sector for a long time.
Yeah.
And interestingly, it's not just I thought you migrated to Istanbul and then started cooking, but then you've been to Dubai and you've been up and about.
Yeah.
Is this a business you're hoping to one day take back to Cameroon, or you're just going to spread
Yeah,
it?
I actually, before the crisis in the Northwest and South region, I had prepared to do that in Boya already. So when I looked for a place, I prepared the place, but because of the crisis, the things and their numbers goes down, they could not open every day. I saw that if I invest there, it's going to be a loss. So I had to hold on. Yeah, so I have plans of opening in Boya. Immediately the crisis is solved, I need to move the branch to Boya. I just want to make it in a classic way. Make it a different. I know there are restaurants there, but I just want to make it a different. And I have intention of opening also in Bamenda. That's one thing. And Douala as well. And not just in that field. I have another aim of opening the same branch but in a different way. Like I have to open like a shop there where I can sell dresses, shoes, and so on.
Okay.
I have the business idea though. My field is international relations, where I still love my field and I'm preparing to do it.
If you want to be a Dangote, of course, you cannot do it with international relations, right?
Yeah,
you have to be business.
Yeah, actually, but I have this aim that immediately I finish with my international relations masters, which probably is next month.
Yeah.
I have to take a business course because doing a business without having that certificate is
probably.
Yeah, you may have the knowledge, but you need to put it in theory. So I am trying to have
get
that
the theory to match your practical.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Tell me about doing business in a foreign country before we come and specialize in Turkey. How does it feel away from home, from your brothers, your parents, and every other person? You're in a foreign land and running business.
Yeah, in a foreign land, actually, I have like 6 workers. And one thing I need to understand, I try to understand is like they don't play with their business. And I have all the documents as well.
Okay.
I have registered, I pay tax, I pay a government accountant.
Okay.
That is something we don't do in Cameroon, because when you open a business in their land, you need to employ at least 2 people each. They
Interesting.
don't work with you, but you
Okay.
have to pay them. The government accountant, he comes to control you, he comes to give your tax, and you need to go to the bank and pay. You don't pay them, that will be paid to the government, and the government pays them. You just have a government account, you go to the bank and deposit. At the end of the month, they give you that bill, you go and deposit.
So would you say it's fairly easy to establish a business in Turkey and Istanbul in particular?
Yeah, it's easy if you have the documents. If you are not legal, you cannot have a business.
Alrighty.
Because they don't allow illegal people to open business.
How expensive is it on a scale of, or just approximate how much it would cost you or how much it costs you to set up a business like this?
Yeah, like for example, my monthly expenditures are roughly 500,000 francs CFA.
Okay.
That is paying bills and all that, excluding workers. Because if I check how much I spend with workers, it should be roughly 700,000 francs, and I pay workers weekly. That is it. But with that, I still have the daily bread. I know I cannot just say I'll open a business and have everything. I just need little, rather than stay away. I cannot handle that all alone. I need to pay people. I need to do everything in order to keep myself. And I'm happy because I have really made them. This, for example, I can say this is the first legal Cameroonian restaurant.
That is operating.
Yeah.
That's great. Tell me about the support you have from the Cameroonian community in the diaspora. How well have they taken to this place?
Yeah, I have, like, for example, after this, I will take it to one of my brothers who is actually like a partner to me, because he supports me really well. And I won't lie to you, my brothers of Cameroon are so good to me. And also Nigerians, because I have so many Nigerian customers. I have Sudanese, I have Senegal, I have Cote d'Ivoire. I have them, they try to eat rice. And actually, like, for example, this achu you saw today is something many of them are now eating. Like Nigerians, they are eating achu now. Many of them order for achu. It's something they've met here, and because of how they prepare it, they love it. So really, they support me in buying. And when I need help from them, it doesn't take them a second to assist me. Like for example, if I sit down and they say, "This is your tax. This is your tax. You need to do this today." Like for example, I had an issue of my life today. I was called in one emergency. I just called a brother and he had to handle that. So I'm really happy with the way, and I'm sure it's because of the way I deal with them. That's why they also take me.
All right. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being at Chez Dangote. I mean, I enjoyed the food, and I hope that every Cameroonian that will come to Istanbul would come here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great. Managing a restaurant for foreigners in a foreign land is surely a tough business. But when you have backup from home, it's worth the effort. Jonas orders his supplies from Cameroon and has a lady, a Cameroonian, do the cooking for him. She tells me she finds plenty satisfaction in serving her fellow brothers and sisters from back home. When you left Cameroon, did you think that you would be cooking in Istanbul?
Anyway, I didn't know precisely what I was coming to do, but I was like preparing my mind, anything that I can do.
You would do it.
I would do it.
For how long have you been cooking for Chez Dangote?
Here I started working with Dangote on the 28th of November 2018, sorry.
Okay. So you've been here for
Close to 5 months.
close to 5 months. Okay. What kind of a boss would you say he is?
Dangote is a very nice somebody, very understanding.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's very good.
Okay. So what kind of dishes do you cook here?
I cook so many dishes. I cook, for example, I cook ero and gari or banku, what we popularly know as banku.
Okay.
Then I cook it.
What's banku?
Banku is a powder, some
Form
sort
of
of
fufu?
powder, make it out of rice.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's interesting. What is the dish that sells most of all your menu?
We have that is ero, achu, and ekwa.
Okay.
These 3 dishes.
And do you have many Cameroonians coming here, or do you have Europeans eating here, or just Africans?
They're mostly Africans.
Okay.
You know, some of the streets in European, they don't recognize the food. It's
Uh-huh.
African restaurant, so most of the people, customers I'm having, they are from
So
Africa.
strictly African. And in that proportion of Africans, how many of them are Cameroonians? Like,
There are so many uncounted.
so it's like you guys have another small home here.
Yeah, this gathering is just like a home, you know.
Do you miss home much?
Oh, I really miss it, but not as such. Since I'm cooking in an African restaurant, I'm almost seeing everything that I'm eating in Cameroon.
You
so
feel like
it's just
everything.
like I'm home, you know.
Would you go back to Cameroon anytime soon?
Unpredictable.
Okay. Life is good here.
Sure.
Alrighty. Thank you very much. So, what did you cook today? What was on your menu today?
My menu today was have achu.
Yeah.
I cooked a concha, rice and stew, corn and vegetable.
What's your best part about serving people African dishes?
My best part,
What do you enjoy most?
when I'm serving them
Yes.
with water, with arrow and gari.
And the look on their faces like, this is home.
Yes, you know the yam and ndoletu.
Oh, yam and doletu.
Yeah.
That's another popular one. Alrighty. Thank you very much, Loveline. I did enjoy your achu. You cooked that one?
Yeah.
Yes, the achu was really
Thank
nice.
you very much, bro.
Keep doing good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. For many small businesses, whether at home or abroad, a basic management challenge is human resource. How do you pull in the right human capital? People who understand your vision and are willing to roll up their sleeves and get the job done. For Jonas, that man was hard to find, but thank God he has him in Harrison Gandhi Bender.
Okay. I'm Harrison Gonzalez, a student in Ida University from Cameroon, basically. I came here as a student 4 years ago, so after my studies, I studied the environment and thought of what we can do to make ends meet. So we decided to come up with a business with my partner. For now, we are facing some challenges because it's barely 5 years we started the business, but for now I can say we are trying our best at this moment.
Oh, so the business has been running for only 5 months?
Yes.
And yet you have this huge and massive clientele. What are some of the strategies that you put in place to get the following and the customers that you have already?
Well, I will start with God first because by the grace of God we tried and we came up with something like this. And with good food, friends, classmates, and Istanbul is a place where there are so many Cameroonian students. And they say just Turkish food. So many people want there's a high demand for Cameroonian food stuff. So we measure the food stuff from Cameroon raw and cooked food. So with that we have so many customers. That's why it is growing and growing. We pray for God to give us the blessing so that we can do something bigger than this. Maybe open branches somewhere else.
With the cost of importing products or raw materials from Cameroon and the sales that you are able to generate, are you able to make profit?
Normally, most of the foodstuffs like gari, yam, eru, we don't have them in Istanbul. So we depend solely from supplies from Cameroon. So it's somehow expensive, but profit so I can live.
I've been away from my home and home-cooked meals, but at Chez Dangote, Cameroon was in Istanbul. Now, I look forward to visiting Istanbul without fear of eating too much fried chicken. Or maybe their kebabs. And then it was time to come back home. Cameroon just gets to you in ways that sometimes you wish you weren't born here. But home is home, and no matter where I go, I'll always remember the road that leads me back home. And you're welcome back. Well, that was my voice, and that's the experience that I had, and I hope that you enjoyed every part of it, because trust me, it was a really wowing experience for me, except for the part where I missed my return flight and then had to sleep in the airport. That story I couldn't put on camera, but I just had to give you a gist of it. It was fun, and I want to say big shout out to all the people at Chez Dangote for their hospitality. It was great eating Cameroonian food in another man's country. I mean, I was tired of the kebabs and all of those things that they give us there, right? But that was fun. Thank you very much. And to all our fans, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Come on, let's keep these messages going, okay? Until some other time on The Tipping Point, you be good. I'll see you then.